So here we are, 2021 energies. And we are, going deeper into the slipstream. The slipstream is, this particular slipstream is an anchoring one, and it literally is clearing out the debris and anchoring that, which allows us to build into this, what I call as the post-COVID world. I'm using the post-COVID world just because it was a really big reset for the entire world, as opposed to the virus per se. And that's the invitation that I have for all of you. In terms of the energies, what is strengthening up over the next 8 days or so that we still have the slipstream current that is there? What is really revving up is the flowing current. So the flowing current is gaining in strength to such an extent that if you remain very focused on your bullseye, which is you being in flow, you will flow with the flowing current. What it's also calling us to do is to get clear about what is the context of our flow. And the context of your flow is whatever it is that you are resolved about, whatever it is that you have intentioned. And the bigger the game, and the more vigilant you are of what it actually means to you, for you to be in flow, the faster and greater progress you will make utilizing the current of the slipstream. It also means that there is, in a slipstream current, if any of you have been in a slipstream, and I've been in one particular one, that once I got the hang of it, I would go there just because it was such a magical experience. And this was in Hawaii, in Oahu, North Shore. And I got caught in one and managed to get out swiftly in Bali, because Bali has many slipstreams in the ocean. I also saw what it was like when people who became rigid in the slipstream, it took a lot of effort of other humans to get them out into safety. They almost drowned. They all remember it as a near-death experience for themselves. So if the flowing current is gaining momentum, gaining pace in this slipstream, and we've got a few more days of it to go, what it's also saying to us is yes, the vistas are changing, on the shoreline. The shoreline is changing and moving, but there is no time for you to be focusing on that, because that might disconnect you from keeping that finger on the pulse, on the nuance of what it feels like being in flow. So it's interesting, I was actually not going to do my session from here. This is my studio here in Berlin. And just because of the rains and the traffic and all of that, I just decided to come back, and I'm doing the session from here. And I have the black wall, which says focus. There is no accident. And really the focus is on the nuance of what it feels like you being in flow. Now here I am, on the one hand, there is this deep spiritual work that I do, and then I also have a business that runs, and we're in the middle of a deal closure, which is when you are in the middle of a deal closure, you're in the middle of agreements, which are all set in the material world, and they're all prepared for times when things could go wrong. So even reading through the agreements sometimes takes me out of flow, takes us out of flow. That, my God, such a lot of focus on stuff that could go wrong right in the middle of a slipstream. And that's just so. So the flow vigilante, you have one. You've always had one. And that is what has kept you going up to this point in time. You literally get your flow vigilante activated and be the one that is really leading you forward. I'm so present to the moment we go down any particular forays that are there in the agreement, like looking at, okay, how would this actually pan out? Why do we need to sign up to this? Or why do we not need to sign up to this? It spins so fast that really the human vibe attunement gets us back into the center, into the vibe of being human, and we can go from there. So you will be faced with this. I mean, there is no reason for us to be at this time working through this agreement. It should already have been done, and it wasn't for whatever reason. And I know why that is, because it is really there building our muscle to know in all circumstances we can find our flow and we can be stationed in it. It isn't enough for us to only find our flow. It is also, when you're using a slipstream, you're actually leveraging this ability of really moving so far ahead so fast that it isn't enough to only know what it feels like being in your flow. That is a prerequisite. It's critical path. But also knowing where is it that you want your life to go. Now, here's the thing. I know what my life purpose is, which is to have humans and humanity stationed in expecting and accepting miracles as their norm. A miracle being something beautiful occurs that makes your heart sing. So having every human being on the planet know that they have their own miracle lens and they can at any time bring it out. As long as the heart is beating, that is the song of the heart. And they can pull out the miracle lens and look through it, and they will see an abundance of things that makes their heart sing. So I know that, and there is nothing that's going to take me away from that. That's my resolve. The opportunity that this slipstream presents to us is I literally detach myself from that completely. And I step into a knowing that that is so. That is occurring in my lifetime. It's a tall order. We're talking about over 7 billion people. And so it is. If I think I can do this, then it won't occur. It's flown to me and it's going to flow out through me. And it is happening. I have an opportunity with that intention anchored. I have an opportunity to really know at a nuanced level what it means to be in my flow, what it means to find my flow when situations around me are pulling me out of it or attempting to. Now, if you don't know exactly what your soul mission is, you don't need to go into a space of, if only I knew what my miracles being the norm equivalent is. It doesn't matter that you don't know. You focus on the purpose of life. There is only one purpose to life, and that is to come alive. So what does aliveness feel like? What does aliveness mean to you? You focus on that. The main thing is having a context like that, which is bigger than you, and it's worthy of dedicating your life to, creates a pull. Creates a pull, and it allows you to step into that realm as you find your flow. There are happenings that are happening around the world. You know, I'm still very connected to what's going on in India. And there is an aftermath of all that very heavy duty medication that lots of people have been given. So, you know, there is this rise of particular type of black fungus, they're calling it. I mean, fungus is not unusual, but this particular one is quite damaging to the human body. And that happens, it does happen. Fungus can increase quite uncontrollably when you are on certain types of medication. So yes, we are seeing that occur as well. And there are many, many, many souls that are crossing over. So we are faced with, polar opposite experiences. It may not happen every day, and it could happen several times a day. In amidst all of that, keep your finger on that pulse of flow. And we have been, and we will continue to, anchor the post-COVID world. So when you come across a situation where there is an experience of loss, and within the Beyond Meditation group, I have done a recording about experiencing loss and, coming out of that experience. So I will share that even though it is not publicly available yet. In case you are in that space, and I can see one of the messages here, work with it. If there are souls that have departed, how do you find flow for yourself? There are souls that have departed. It is our gift to them. It is our honoring of them to celebrate their contribution, long, large, or small, to the time that they were here in this human form. Because remember, the human form, the innate vibration is love. So right now, there are some people that I know who are passing, and there are many others that I don't know, that I hear about. There are several communities and groups of people, categories of people that are, they're being classified as certain types, where I hear these news of them crossing over. It doesn't matter whether you know them or not. The fact that whatever time they spent in this human form, whether or not they were connected to the love that they are, their vibrational frequency of love was here for a period of time. The good news is, and I don't know if people will necessarily take it as a good news, but for me, I always scan, when the souls depart, we go through 13 layers. And the first 2 or 3 layers is where there is a lot of unrequited stuff. When the soul crosses over, they usually get stuck in that realm. And I often go in and just clear out those spaces so that these souls can really go and unite with the light. And there isn't a traffic jam there at all. It is quite clear. So the souls that are departing at this time because they're choosing to. They are already in the light. They already are in a space of peace. And their only wish and blessing for us is to find peace in ourselves. So there may be other forms of loss. It could be that there was a project you were very engaged in. And after several rounds, it just isn't going anywhere. And it's time to release it and let it go. It could be a loss to do with that. Whatever it is, just know that anything that you have ever engaged in and given any energy to, good, bad, ugly, or beautiful, it was here for a reason and a purpose. And it is a part of the foundation that has been laid for you to build the next phase of your life with. Step into your vibration of love. Stay in your flow, unconditionally accepting all that has occurred, knowing that there is nothing that is not in service of your higher good can have an impact on you anymore, because you will use the slipstream to know how you can remain in flow at all times, in all situations, in all circumstances. So use this as a flow boot camp for yourself. Just know that the current is so strong that there is actually no time to stand and stare. There is only to be within you. And you are stepping in so deep, and you're connecting in such a powerful, connected way within yourself, that when you come out the slipstream with a big exhale, you would have expanded your presence and your gravitas and recalibrated your own center of gravity, that you can expand to whatever extent you are wanting to do. But there will be a lot that you would have shed in the process, and it will be out of the orbit of your field. That for me is an opportunity. Having stuff that may be there that I want to shed out of the orbit of my field by not me having to go through any big process, that's good. When that is occurring, you may feel like, you may have tinge of sadness. Find flow even in that time. Not by ignoring it. Do not ignore. In my world, you do not ignore anything your mind tells you. You really acknowledge it. And in your acknowledgement, its hold diminishes, and the energy depleting hold disappears. Use the power of acknowledgement. When you use your power of acknowledging something, it's a very honoring way of acknowledging something. Be it how you're feeling, it could be good, it could be bad, whatever it is, by you acknowledging it, you break down at a root level that which no longer serves you, and you fertilize with exactly the right nutrients that which does. You receive yourself, and you receive yourself as this amazing, worthy person that you are. And you accept yourself. Honoring your own worthiness, you become the dignitarian. You remember dignity again. You're born with choice, you're born with dignity, you're born with your unique mastery, which puts you at the source of your life. Source mastery, we call it. And we often ignore dignity and we forget about our source mastery. Choice, we are always choosing. That is the modus operandi of taking birth as a human on this planet. So, the message for today's Beyond Meditation is finger on the pulse of flow, raise the context and connect to it, which will be the context of why you're here, this next phase of your life. No big process needed, no great analysis required. If you know your soul mission, go for it. If you don't know your soul mission, choose to live the purpose of your life, which is to come alive. Come alive in flow. Keep it simple. Keep it measurable. Again, do not get over analytical right now. You can, there'll be time for that after the 31st of May. And if none of this makes sense, just do it for the heck of it. And what you can do, if you're just doing it for the heck of it, you can actually use the be approach, but create a be word for the day. And I describe it more fully in the be book. But you can just choose your be word for the day and be that. Just check that out every hour or so. Am I being this way? keep that overarching context of coming alive. Do not, this is not the time to go into your cave and become a recluse either, because the movement is so fast. The momentum of this movement is so rapid that you will not be able to just become a recluse or hide in your cave. This is not cave time. But it's also not a time to take on lots of stuff that you're going to structure and manage, because it's going to flow very fast. It's about you really being within yourself, with yourself. And then keeping your finger on the pulse of being in flow. We are going to hold in our heart and allow from the connection to our gut any visions, any wisdom, anything at all that chooses to come through as a vision for anchoring the post-COVID world. So allow that to occur as we do the human vibe attunement in a moment. I also want to say that tomorrow I'm doing a journey on anchoring and activating aliveness for the Rishikesh Film Festival, which is happening online at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So I will be posting a link so that you can connect to it if you wish. It's pertinent and very relevant at this time. So I would never have thought focus and flow go together, you know? And here I am sitting with a wall which says focus on flow, and allow the flowing to occur, because it will. And it really is about getting the nuance understanding of what it feels like, you know, what constitutes it, what takes you out. And if you notice a particular trigger, just, you know, you have a trigger page, you just jot down your triggers. Remember, the power lies in acknowledgement. You acknowledge something you wish to get rid of, literally like a weed killer, it goes straight for the roots. And you acknowledge something that you want to keep in place in a very laser sharp, those very thin pipe type, you know, watering systems, the exact amount of nutrient and exact type of nutrient gets delivered to the roots. It's a very, very powerful technology that we have been mastering as we've been doing beyond meditation, because we begin by, I acknowledge myself as a human. So with this understanding, let's give ourselves permission to use the vibe of love as an amplifying frequency, to enable us to amplify our capacity, our capability, and our response ability to respond to keeping our finger on the pulse of flow, allowing the flowing current to take us where it is choosing to take us in the slipstream. Releasing any fears or trepidations that may come in the way. Noticing them, not ignoring anything. Just know the flowing current of this year is so strong that, you know, there were no carpets anyway. Any markings left behind of where the carpets used to be that you could hide things under, that also is washed off. So get yourself comfortable. Put your feet on the ground. Best is to do this is sitting up. Have the middle of your feet connected to the core of the earth. Drop your hands on either side and put them on top of your thighs. Your fingers are lightly stretched and the tips of your fingers are connecting to the core of the ground. You have an angle at your made up of your elbows, and that angle point of the elbows, we have this cord also connected to the core of the earth at that angle point. The cord is made up of gold, silver, platinum has been added today, copper, and bronze. Gold is supporting our nervous system and our brain cells. Silver is zapping away bacteria, parasites, fungus, any such entity types, creatures that may exist in our terrain. Platinum is enriching and enhancing the beam of our inner light. And bronze is connecting to the divinity that we hold within ourselves. And as the cord opens up like a vacuum suction pump and it starts to clear your field, you feel your feet touching the ground a little bit more closely and tightly. And as the feet press down a little, the back of your crown stretches up. Your shoulders drop down, your shoulder blades come together. And I want to focus your attention on your breath. And this time, imagine as if the breath is being taken in from the tip of your tailbone. You're taking the breath in and you're breathing into your heart and you're breathing out of your heart. You're breathing in from the tip of your tailbone, rising up your spine, going into your heart, and you're breathing out from your heart. Your breath in is love, kindness, and compassion, and you're breathing out gratitude and peace. Keep breathing in love, kindness, and compassion. And breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. And breathe out gratitude and peace. In breathing in from your tailbone, you're actually going through that center that exists in our body, which is the center that creates life force, that actually brings aliveness into our cells. And by starting your breath from there, you're bringing in this big influx of oxygen. So if there's anything at all that has occurred in your field, in your experience that has taken you out of sorts a bit, this breath in infuses every cell in your body with aliveness. And it physiologically enriches your system with oxygen, transforms the quality of your terrain. As you're breathing in and out, imagine that all of us here on this call have formed a circle, and it's a circle of light. And it's a circle that is also creating a tunnel of light. So we are on the outside of this tunnel. Each of our light is contributing to the illumination of this tunnel of light. And this tunnel of light is the pathway for any and all souls that have chosen to cross over, so they find their path into their light. It illuminates that. So we are holding your friend as she makes her journey, Janice, through this beam of light that each one of us has so generously contributed to. We are now going to align our mind brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain by using the 946 breath. You're bringing into alignment your survival instinct, presencing yourself in the now, preparing to thrive by tapping into your inner wisdom coming from the gut. And in doing so, you are opening up 13 chakras. There are 7 that we are aware of, and there are others that have been activated. And they are being opened up and clarified with this 946 breath. And as that occurs, it creates an alignment within us. And given that we are in the space of flow, and we are doing it at a nuanced level, and we are tapping into one of the 9 commandments, one of the 10 commandments of the new world, which is an up-leveling from alignment to flow to coherence. This alignment between the mind, the heart, and the gut is going to move in the direction of flow through the slipstream. And there will be a coherence with which you will make your choices and decisions as you emerge out of the slipstream after the 31st of May. Hold that intention in your mind as we do the 946 breath. And in us doing the 946 breath, any souls that may have departed that weren't quite in alignment of this last leg of their journey, they come into alignment. And with great celebration and rejoicing, honoring and acknowledging the choice that they have made for themselves, they depart into the light. At the same time, there are souls that are birthing. There are species that have been dormant, that are new species that are ready to be discovered. And they too are receiving this alignment and stepping into flow to emerge into a world that feels welcoming. That's what we are bringing about and making happen today. So breathe in to the count of 9 Hold to the count of 4. Breathe out to the count of 6. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to say the human vibe attunement 3 times. The first time, it's going to be a declaration from your soul presence that has chosen to express itself through this human form and is like recommitting to its vow of oneness with this human form. And in its acknowledgement of being human, receiving itself as human and accepting itself as human, it brings together its limitless expansion to the human form that applies to it the amplifying frequency of love, and together they amplify. The limitless expansion of love. And it occurs through your human form. So you expand in a limitless way, anchored in love. So here we go. Repeat after me. The soul declaration. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. The human form, for the first time, accepts unequivocally its own prowess as a master amplifier of love, worthy of holding the limitless expansion of consciousness in our soul presence. The human form. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. The soul and the human together. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Focus your attention on your breath. Breathe into your heart love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion into your heart. Breathe out gratitude and peace. And just stay there for a moment or two. And as you're staying there, you notice you've actually moved into the center of a bubble. And it's a huge bubble with different colors of light in it. And it's the allowing light that is entering your cells. And as it does so, it accentuates your senses. And you realize that column of light in the center of our circle is translucent. And when you focus your attention on it, you connect to the vibrations of the world that we have just beamed in. So as we complete this meditation, in the words that you share, I want you to share what has occurred for you in the form of words or a sentence. And if we don't have enough time on this call to take your point in, please message it in the group so that this vision of yours for the post-COVID world is anchored powerfully. The coming down of the Berlin Wall brought an end to the Cold War as a reality for the world. And here I am in Berlin again, anchoring the foundation for the post-COVID world, anchoring the new reality that we are all emerging into. Take your hands in front of your heart, rub them against each other, put them over your eyes, open your eyes in them, take them on top of your head, the back of your head, down your neck, down your shoulders, do an energy sweep, and blow. Beyond meditation is complete. We've run over that we started doing on the Saturday sessions. So if you need to be somewhere, please go ahead. And if you have a moment or two to anchor your vision, your words for the vibes of the post-COVID world, let's do that. So go ahead and share in the chat. We anchor our vision for the world to have a positive mindset, absolutely transcendental. Love, grace, illumination, anchoring love, peace, community, spirit, lightness to all beings, kindness and acceptance for everyone, beauty, kindness, creativity, sharing, community, love, joy, prosperity for all. Thank you all. Anchoring regeneration for all life. Love, 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 kindness to all. Thank you. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you. With that, I declare our session complete. Thank you.